Picture this, a whole generation, ages 13 to 25. Maybe they are living in their mom's basement, subsisting on Uber Eats, barely seeing the sun. Then, all of a sudden, they are instant millionaires. On July 15th, 2020, a 17-year-old kid infiltrated Twitter, posting a Bitcoin doubling scam to the accounts of numerous celebrities. It was immediately called the biggest security incident in Twitter's history. Former President Barack Obama, Tesla founder Elon Musk, even Microsoft's Bill Gates, all compromised. The haul was a relatively meager 117,000 inches Bitcoin. That was pennies, really, to a teen who, at the time of his arrest, was found to have 3 million more sitting in his wallets. And when we, at Crypto Crimes, started digging, we found a disturbing history of internet fraud and extortion. So today, I am going to tell you the untold story of Graham Clark. This is how he went from stealing thousands on a video game, to robbing millions from CEOs and hedge fund types, to getting involved in a homicide. Then, finally, he got greedy and hacked Twitter, all before he turned 18. This is going to be a wild ride into the seedier sides of the internet. So buckle up. In 2016, when Graham was just 14 years old, the chaos was already starting. This era of his life, though seemingly small time, highlights the core of his personality. He had zero regard for right and wrong. Graham was running a popular YouTube channel in the Minecraft niche, specifically a toxic game mode called Hardcore Factions. He was charismatic, charming, and absolutely leveraged his audience to scam them out of money. Hardcore Factions was an extreme environment. Get killed, and you are banned for the duration of your playtime. The stakes were so high, it bred a culture of vengeance that spilled outside the game. This is where Graham's criminal stepping stones began. The culture was rife with DDoSing, account hijacking, and even swatting. The line between Minecraft cheating and actual hacking communities was non-existent. Graham, operating under the name OpenHFC, realized these low-level techniques, credential stuffing, buying stolen accounts, could be applied anywhere. We are talking social media, banks, and especially crypto exchanges. He did not possess technical talent. His gift was manipulation. He scammed other YouTubers, leveraged friends, and consistently showed one trait: greed. He did not want to pay for anything, no matter how little the cost. This led him directly to the underground market of unique usernames. By 2018, as Hardcore Factions faded, he transitioned naturally into the notorious OG Users Forum. This forum was a marketplace where rare, often stolen, social media accounts were traded for serious cash. This is where he met the more experienced crowd, the people versed in blackmail, doxing, and the next evolution of digital crime. Exactly 1 year before the Twitter hack, on April 15th, 2019, tech investor Greg Bennett was on a business chat when his mobile phone suddenly died. He had no signal and no email access. He was the target of a SIM swap attack. Graham, now operating under the alias Scrim, and his accomplices had done their homework. They doxed Greg, got his details, and convinced the telecom carrier to switch his number to their control. Think about how easy this makes a massive crypto theft. They simply log on to a platform like Coinbase, click Forgot Password, and the reset code goes to the phone that they now control. Within minutes, they have access to everything. They got away with 164 Bitcoin. At the time, that was worth $856,000. Today, that haul would be worth over $6.3 million. What did Graham do with it? He balled out. We are talking designer clothes, flashing cash, a BMW 3 Series, and a gem-encrusted Rolex posted to his Instagram. The problem came when they ran into the withdrawal limits on Greg's account. So, Graham tried extortion, demanding an additional 50 Bitcoin ransom for Greg's email access. But the plot twisted. Graham decided to keep all the money. He vanished on his accomplices. Desperate, his former partners began messaging Greg, threatening to turn Graham into the police if he did not share the loot. This internal feud led to a criminal investigation, which culminated in a search warrant at Graham's residence in August 2019. They seized 15,000 inches cash and 400 Bitcoin. This haul was far more than they knew about, suggesting Graham was involved in many similar high-level crypto heists. But still, the worst was yet to come. While awaiting the outcome of his first major investigation, Graham got involved with drugs. Then, on January 4th, 2020, he was connected to a home invasion where a friend was shot dead. Graham was outside in the car. The police could not prove his direct role. He walked free. Then came the astonishing part. The feds let him off easy on the massive SIM swap case. Due to the barriers of charging a minor, they only made him give up 100 of the 400 seized Bitcoin. Graham was free. He had less than 8 months until he turned 18. And the lesson he took away? As long as he was a minor, he could steal millions and get away with it. 2 months later, he went after the big one, Twitter. The search for the hacker quickly led back to the OG users forum. 2 members, known as Chuckling and Rolex, were offering to sell any Twitter username for thousands of dollars. They were brokers, contacted by a mysterious Discord alias named Kirk. Kirk was not selling usernames. He had access to godlike admin tools. How did Kirk get in? It was not a massive security flaw in Twitter's code. It was simple, highly effective social engineering. A targeted phishing attack. They compiled a list of Twitter employees, called them, pretended to be IT support, and got them to log into a fake portal. Once they had the credentials, they were in the internal Slack channels. They found the employees with the highest level access and phished them. On July 14th, Graham and his 5-year-old accomplice were in. They could take over any Twitter account with a single click. But the true blunder came after the usernames stopped selling. They had unlimited power, the potential to crash the stock market, sell military intelligence. And what did they do? They ran a doubling money scam. They only netted 118,000 before major exchanges blacklisted the address. The crime was stupid, but the pursuit of justice would be historic. This is where the dark art of blockchain forensics comes in. When a criminal uses cryptocurrency, they believe they are invisible, but the public ledger, the blockchain, is permanent. Every transaction is recorded. Blockchain forensics is the specialized work of tracking those digital footprints, analyzing the flow of funds, and de-anonymizing the perpetrator. By tracking how the initial 118,000 was moved, cashed out, or sent to wallets linked to KYC exchanges, investigators were able to unravel the entire scheme. The FBI only needed 2 weeks. While Graham's file remains redacted, the fatal flaw for his brokers, Chuckling and Rolex, was simple. Their real identities were attached to the exchanges they used to receive the Bitcoin fees. They were, in essence, used as collateral by Graham. In the end, Graham was charged as an adult with 30 felonies. He faced 210 years. After 7.5 months in jail, he took a plea deal. He received 6 total years of punishment under Florida's youthful offender law. He will serve his time in a juvenile facility, receive education, and transition services. If he violates probation, he faces a full 10-year adult sentence. Some would say he got off easy, especially when you consider what he came home to. That roughly 300 Bitcoin he was allowed to keep. As of today, that stash of ill-gotten gains is worth over $12 million. The prosecutor's goal was accountability without destroying his future. But this case gives us, at Crypto Crimes, a critical opportunity to share lessons for both the public and for digital security experts. For individuals and companies, prevention and recovery start here. Ditch SMS 2FA. The vulnerability in this entire narrative was the cell phone. For crypto and financial accounts, always use non-SMS-based two-factor authentication, such as a physical security key or an authentication app. This is the best defense against SIM swapping. Companies must enforce a zero-trust social engineering policy. Employees must be trained that IT will never call them and ask them to log into a portal. The phishing success rate is directly tied to a lack of employee skepticism. Furthermore, active monitoring is key. Companies, particularly those operating exchanges, must invest heavily in blockchain forensics tools. Post-hack recovery is only possible if you can immediately track, tag, and freeze stolen funds as they hit centralized exchanges. For law enforcement, the main takeaway is to develop expertise in blockchain forensics. The blockchain is a permanent evidence trail. Investigators must be trained to use sophisticated tools to follow the flow of funds from an exchange hack or a SIM swap. Also, the gap in the law that allowed Graham to walk away with millions because he was a minor needs to be closed. The digital age requires the legal system to catch up with the reality of young criminals operating on a global scale. Graham, in his own words, said he did not plan on any of it. He was just always into money. The final cold truth is this: internet fraud thrives in a social vacuum. When you find a group that praises destructive behavior, you lose your moral compass, you lose empathy. The only sustainable path in any field is to create value, not to destroy it. Because when you choose destruction, the trail of evidence, the ledger of your actions, is permanent, and eventually, blockchain forensics will be there, waiting for the money to move. Let us know in the comments below. Do you think Graham Clark's sentence was fair, considering the $12 million in Bitcoin he gets to keep? Thank you for tuning in to Crypto Crimes. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark side of the digital economy.